Small coins can sometimes hold big surprises. Every collector knows that even a penny, if it has the right combination of rarity, condition, and minting detail, can be worth far more than its face value. Among the many U.S. cents that interest collectors, one stands out for its precision and preservation, the 1972 Lincoln cent. It looks ordinary at first glance, but among the billions produced, a few have proven exceptional. The 1972 penny is the first coin we're talking about today because it perfectly represents how rarity and condition can transform a 1-cent piece into a serious collectible. Minted more than 50 years ago at the Denver Mint, it carries the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Billions were struck for daily use, yet only a small number survive in pristine condition, and those are the coins collectors search for. The early 1970s were a changing time for U.S. coinage. The cost of copper was increasing, and the mint worked to maintain production quality and meet high demand. The Denver Mint, marked by the small d below the year, handled much of the cent production. In 1972 alone, over 2.6 billion 1-cent coins were struck. With such a large mintage, rarity might seem unlikely, but it depends on survival quality, not quantity. Each coin was struck between two dies, one for the front and one for the back. Over time, those dies wore down or became slightly misaligned, creating subtle differences. Most are minor, but some can make certain coins stand out. The 1972 penny from Denver shows strong production control, so very few notable double dies or major striking errors exist. The main reason collectors value this coin is condition rarity. Out of billions made, most entered circulation and quickly showed wear. Over time, copper darkens and loses its original shine. Even stored coins often show small marks that lower their grade. So when a coin appears nearly perfect, bright, clean, and untouched, it becomes something exceptional. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC use a 1:70 scale to measure condition. A grade of 70 is flawless. Most uncirculated 1972 cents rate between MS 60 and MS 64. Coins at MS 66 or MS 67 are scarce, and MS 68 examples are extremely rare. These top-graded coins show complete red color, sharp detail in Lincoln's portrait, and smooth surfaces with no spots or scratches. The 1972 was struck in a copper alloy of 95% copper and 5% zinc, the same blend used since 1909. By the early 1980s, copper prices forced the mint to switch to zinc cores. That change makes early 1970s cents like this one part of the last true copper generation, heavier, richer in color, and preferred by many collectors. On the best examples, Lincoln's hair and coat lines are crisp, the fields around his portrait are clear, and the Lincoln Memorial columns on the reverse are sharply defined. The color remains even and bright. That mix of technical precision and preserved luster defines a premium coin. Although Denver's quality control was strong, some 1972 cents show minor mechanical doubling, but these are not true double die errors. Genuine double dies would show clear separation in the date or lettering, and any verified example would attract significant collector interest. Color designation also matters. Copper coins are graded as red, RD, red-brown, RB, or brown, BN. Fully red coins retain nearly all their original brightness. Because red color fades with time, a 1972 that still qualifies as red after 50 years is rare and the most valuable. Collectors often wonder how such a modern coin can reach high prices. The reason is simple: very few survive in top grade, and collector demand is strong. Thousands pursue complete Lincoln cent sets by date and mint mark, and when only a handful exist in near-perfect condition, prices rise quickly. Out of billions minted, perhaps only a few dozen 1972 cents have been certified at MS 68 red by major grading services. Each one represents an exceptional survivor, a coin that retained its color and luster through half a century. Finding one is difficult, but not impossible. Some of the finest examples came from original mint sets or coin rolls stored carefully for decades. Others were kept aside simply because they looked unusually bright. These long-kept coins show how ordinary pieces can become rare through time and preservation. That if you come across a 1972 penny that looks uncirculated, examine it under good light. Check the mint mark, color, and fine details. Avoid touching the surfaces. If it appears exceptional, consider professional grading, the only reliable way to confirm quality and market value. Studying coins like this teaches how small differences in condition and care affect value. It also shows that even relatively recent coins can become significant collectibles when they survive in extraordinary shape. The 1972 is a clear example, common in number, but rare in perfection. Interest in high-grade modern coins has grown steadily. Many collectors who once focused on older issues now value the challenge of finding pristine copper cents. The 1972 has become one of the most respected dates of the era, appreciated for the difficulty of finding one in flawless condition. Among certified examples, one of the finest 1972 Lincoln cents, graded MS 68 red, achieved a recorded auction price of $94,000. Our second coin on today's list takes us forward 16 years from the Denver issue of 1972, to another Lincoln cent that has caught the attention of collectors for a very different reason. This time, it's the 1988 Lincoln penny, a coin that appears completely ordinary to most people, yet a small detail hidden beneath the surface has turned some of these cents into valuable treasures. By 1988, the Lincoln cent had already seen decades of production and a few important design changes. The metal composition had switched to a copper-plated zinc planchet, and minting technology had advanced significantly. Yet even with modern machinery, small variations in die use could still create unexpected results, and that's exactly what makes the 1988 cent special. Among the millions produced that year, a few pennies from the Philadelphia Mint revealed a fascinating feature: the obverse, or front die, used to strike some 1988 cents was not the new 1988 hub but an older 1989 style design. This resulted in what collectors now call the 1988 reverse of 1989 Lincoln cent, a variety that shouldn't exist but does, thanks to a simple die mix-up at the mint. The easiest way to spot this variety is on the reverse, specifically at the base of the Lincoln Memorial, where the designer's initials, FG, appear. On normal 1988 cents, the letters have a sharper, more distinct style. On the era variety, the reverse of 1989, those initials are thinner and closer to the building, matching the style used on later dies. For those who know what to look for, that small detail transforms an ordinary penny into a rarity. This mix-up likely happened during the die preparation process. When the mint transitioned to the 1989 hub design, some working dies from that new style were mistakenly paired with 1988 obverse dies. The result was a short run of coins that blended features from 2 consecutive years. Because the difference is so subtle, most of these coins went unnoticed in circulation, and very few have been discovered in pristine, uncirculated condition. Collectors quickly recognized that this variety wasn't a simple machine doubling or minting flaw, it represented a true design transition, a type of error that helps document the mint's production history. For that reason, it has become one of the most desirable Lincoln cent varieties from the 1980s. Condition again plays a huge role in value. Most known examples were found after years of circulation, showing light wear and discoloration. Those are worth modest premiums. But when a 1988 reverse of 1989 cent appears in mint state condition, its value rises sharply. High-end examples display strong luster, fully struck details, and clean surfaces with no visible marks. The coin's appeal isn't only about the error, it also represents a key moment in the Lincoln cent series. The shift between the 1988 and 1989 designs marked the mint's final refinements to the Lincoln Memorial era before new designs were introduced in the 2000s. This transitional piece serves as a small but fascinating reminder of that change. Professional grading services such as PCGS and NGC have certified only a limited number of these coins in top condition. Most fall in the MS-63 to MS-65 range, but the finest examples graded MS-67 red are almost unheard of. These showcase a bright red surface, no carbon spotting, and near-perfect strike quality, the kind of condition that serious collectors compete for. Because so few of these top-grade examples exist, they've become highly prized in the numismatic market. Collectors specializing in Lincoln cents often consider this one of the most important late 20th century varieties, and competition for certified coins can be intense. Finding one today requires patience and a good eye. The only reliable way to confirm it is by inspecting the designer initials on the reverse and comparing them to the 1989 style. Many collectors use magnification to check for the distinct shape of the G and its position relative to the base of the memorial. If the letters appear thin and tucked close to the building, you may be holding the rare reverse variety. For most people, these coins pass unnoticed in everyday change, but for collectors, every 1988 penny is worth a second look. Even circulated pieces of the reverse of 1989 variety can command solid premiums, and uncirculated examples are extremely desirable. The combination of a design mix-up, low surviving numbers, and high demand from variety collectors has kept this coin in the spotlight for years. And when a truly flawless specimen appears on the market, the results are impressive. One of the finest known examples of the 1988 Lincoln penny with the reverse of 1989, certified in superb mint state red condition, sold at auction for $67,000. It's a remarkable value for a 1-cent coin from the late 1980s, proof that even modern-era pennies can hold extraordinary worth when history, rarity, and condition come together perfectly. So, if you ever come across a 1988 Lincoln penny in your change or coin jar, take a closer look, especially at the designer's initials on the back. That tiny FG detail could be the key to spotting the rare reverse of 1989 variety. It's a perfect example of how something so small can carry a big story and lasting historical interest. Coins like these remind collectors that careful observation often leads to remarkable discoveries. Even the most common-looking pieces can turn out to be something truly special. Now let's move on to the third coin for today's collection, the 2000 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary coin that most of us pass by without a second thought. But, for those who pay attention, this penny has a small but significant feature that has turned it into one of the more sought-after modern collectibles. Unlike older coins, whose value often comes from their age and historical significance, this coin's rarity comes from a very specific minting variation, combined with its condition. It's a perfect example of how even the most modern pennies can surprise collectors when the right factors align. The 2000 Lincoln penny was produced during a period of steady production at the U.S. Mint. While billions of pennies were struck that year, only a tiny fraction ended up with a distinctive anomaly, a slightly wider spacing between the letters A and M in America on the reverse. It's a subtle difference that could easily be missed without close inspection, but to collectors, it's a defining characteristic. This variation is not widely known, which adds an element of discovery for those studying modern coins. Even more fascinating is the survival rate of these pennies. Most 2000 pennies entered circulation immediately, quickly showing wear, scratches, and discoloration. But some were carefully preserved in mint sets or saved by collectors who noticed they appeared slightly unusual. These coins remained untouched for decades, keeping their original luster and crisp details. They are rare survivors in a sea of billions, and their scarcity makes them highly desirable to collectors today. The 2000 Lincoln penny also represents a turning point in modern coinage. While older pennies gained value through historical events or limited mintage, this coin shows how minor production differences can create value in contemporary issues. Lincoln's portrait on the obverse remains detailed, with finely engraved lines in his hair and coat. The Lincoln memorial on the reverse is sharp, the columns clearly defined, and the steps at the base perfectly struck. Yet, it is the spacing between A and M in America that elevates this coin above ordinary circulation pieces. Collectors often use magnifying lenses to inspect coins like this, because the variation is subtle. Even a slight increase in letter spacing is enough to signal a rare minting variety. It shows how attentive observation and knowledge of minting practices can turn a simple penny into a collectible. For serious collectors, every detail counts. The sharpness of the strike, the color of the copper, and the integrity of the surfaces all play a role in determining the coin's value. Condition is key for the 2000 Lincoln penny. Over time, copper coins naturally develop toning, scratches, and other signs of handling. Coins that retain their original red or red-brown luster are the most valuable. Proper storage, such as keeping coins in protective holders or mint rolls, preserves the surface and prevents corrosion. Even a minor mark can significantly reduce value, so collectors go to great lengths to maintain the coin's appearance. This penny also highlights a broader trend in modern numismatics, the hunt for minting anomalies. Many collectors are shifting attention from older coins to modern issues because subtle errors and variations can hold significant value. A coin like the 2000 Lincoln penny demonstrates that rarity isn't only about age, it can also be about unique production characteristics, careful preservation, and the keen eye of a collector. For those who find one of these pennies, handling is critical. Always hold the coin by the edges, avoid touching the surface, and examine it under proper lighting. Check Lincoln's portrait, the details of his coat, and the columns on the reverse. Focus particularly on the spacing of the letters in America. Even a tiny difference can signal a coin with exceptional collector interest. Many of these coins are discovered in mint sets or old rolls that have been untouched for decades, showing that careful storage can turn ordinary coins into treasures. The story of the 2000 Lincoln penny also reflects the growing interest in modern coin collecting. Collectors appreciate the challenge of identifying subtle varieties and the reward of finding a coin that others may overlook. Coins from the late 20th and early 21st century can carry value if a rare characteristic is present and the coin is in superior condition. This teaches us that coin collecting isn't just about historical pieces, it's also about understanding production, rarity, and preservation. When you examine a 2000 Lincoln penny, you may not immediately notice anything unusual. But a closer inspection of the reverse, focusing on the letters A and M, can reveal whether you are holding a standard issue or one of the rare modern varieties. Those who take the time to study their coins and verify them with professional grading services often discover the full potential value of their finds. After careful examination and professional verification, a top-condition 2000 Lincoln penny featuring the distinctive wide spacing has a coin value of $36,000. This is a powerful reminder that even a penny minted in a recent year can hold immense value if it has the right combination of rarity, condition, and detail. So if you come across a 2000 Lincoln penny that appears unusually bright, crisp, and well-preserved, take a moment to examine it closely. That subtle spacing difference could make it a standout collectible. Coins like this demonstrate that even in modern coinage, small differences can create extraordinary opportunities for collectors. Paying attention, handling coins carefully, and knowing what to look for can transform everyday coins into rare treasures that are both fascinating and valuable. In the last spot for today's coin discoveries, we have the 2012 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it might seem like just another modern coin, the kind we see in wallets, cash registers, or coin rolls every day. But for collectors, even the most recent pennies can have hidden surprises. The 2012 penny proves that a coin doesn't have to be old to be interesting. What matters is condition, rarity, and any subtle details that make it stand out from millions of others produced in the same year. This penny was struck during a period of consistent production at the U.S. Mint, where billions of cents were issued annually. Despite the mint's high-quality standards, small variations and minting anomalies occasionally occur. These differences might include minor die cracks, off-center strikes, doubled letters, or slight imperfections in the design. Such variations are often overlooked by casual observers, but they can make a coin highly desirable to modern collectors. For many, finding a coin with a tiny anomaly is like discovering a hidden gem. Lincoln's portrait on the obverse is detailed and precise. Every line in his hair, the definition in his coat, and the clarity of the lettering allows collectors to spot subtle differences between coins. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial stands with its columns, steps, and inscriptions sharply defined. Even the smallest deviations, such as a slightly misaligned column or an unusual spacing of letters, can draw attention from numismatists. The level of detail in the 2012 penny's design makes it easy to detect minor irregularities that might otherwise go unnoticed. Condition is another crucial factor. While the 2012 penny is relatively new, coins can still lose value if they show signs of wear, scratches, discoloration, or fingerprints. Coins that remain bright, uncirculated, and untouched are always more appealing. Collectors often seek examples preserved in original mint sets or carefully stored rolls, where the coin's original color, typically a vibrant red or red-brown, is retained, and the surfaces remain smooth and glossy. Proper handling and storage can preserve these details for decades, ensuring the coin remains desirable to collectors. Errors and variations are what make even modern coins intriguing. Some 2012 pennies may have slightly off-center strikes, minor die cracks, or doubled lettering, while others might feature subtle planchet flaws. These occurrences are rare but can turn a standard coin into a collectible item. Even small anomalies can attract attention because they are difficult to find and can make a coin unique in a large population of billions. The thrill of discovering such differences is part of what keeps collectors interested in modern coinage. Beyond minting details, the 2012 penny also demonstrates the importance of patience and observation in coin collecting. Unlike older coins that gain value due to historical significance, modern coins require collectors to notice subtleties in condition, strike, and preservation. It's a reminder that value isn't only about age, it's also about care, rarity, and attention to detail. Coins like this teach collectors to look carefully and appreciate the artistry and precision involved in minting. Another interesting aspect is the role of storage and handling. A penny from 2012 can maintain its original luster for years if it's kept in proper conditions. Coin holders, flips, and albums protect surfaces from scratches, dirt, and moisture. Handling coins by the edges rather than the faces prevents oils from fingers from tarnishing the metal. These simple steps can preserve a coin's brilliance and make it much more appealing to collectors in the future. Additionally, modern collectors often compare recent pennies with historical issues to track changes in production quality and design evolution. Some enthusiasts enjoy studying die variations and subtle differences in metal composition between years. The 2012 penny can be a fascinating case study for these trends, offering insight into how even contemporary coins are carefully crafted. It also shows that collecting doesn't have to focus solely on older coins, there's excitement in spotting rare or unique examples right from recent years. So if you happen to come across a 2012 penny that looks exceptionally bright, flawless, or slightly different from others, it's worth examining carefully. Look under good lighting for subtle anomalies, check the sharpness of Lincoln's portrait and the Lincoln Memorial, and handle it with care. Even though it's a recent coin, its combination of condition, preserved details, and potential minting variations could make it a valuable piece for collectors. Don't spend or discard it without a closer look. What appears ordinary to one person could be extraordinary to another. The 2012 Lincoln penny may not have the long history of older coins, but it has unique potential for collectors who pay attention to detail. Its value lies in its condition, sharp design, and the possibility of minting errors. For anyone interested in modern numismatics, coins like this show that even recent pennies can hold excitement and significance. By observing carefully, preserving coins properly, and studying subtle differences, collectors can find hidden gems even in coins from the last decade. The 2012 penny is a reminder that every coin has a story, and sometimes the most unexpected finds can become prized pieces in a collection. With careful study, a little patience, and an eye for detail, even the newest pennies can surprise collectors in meaningful ways. If you enjoyed this deep dive into rare pennies, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss our future coin discoveries. Your support helps us bring more fascinating stories from the world of numismatics right to you. Drop a like if you found these coins as interesting as we do, and share your thoughts or finds in the comments below. We love hearing about your rare coin experiences and tips for spotting hidden treasures.